hours or time with his or her children or whatever you're giving up to come and speak, and also that the executive director honors me by coming and speaking with authority and passion about the programs of this organization. These are what the things that donors are looking for. Study this list and make sure that your materials, your outreach, your conversations, your board meetings are focused on these things: issues, ideas, involvement, impact, and investment. The idea of investment, social investment, was practically invented here in this valley. We were so much further ahead, along with the people up in Seattle and a few other places, about this idea of social investment. Jeff Skoll, right here in this valley, this whole idea of social investment. It comes down to one simple idea that is a huge boon to us right now when people are feeling strained financially. And it's simply this: that the people who will invest in your nonprofit, they each have two portfolios. They have a financial investment portfolio, no matter what the size it is, and they have a social investment portfolio. They take from one to enrich the other. Right now, everybody's looking into their financial investment portfolio. It's kind of a yawning chasm, and they're thinking, oh, have you reminded them of the incredible return from their social investment in you? Have you told the stories? Have you, like Boys and Girls Clubs of the Peninsula, who sent me yet another wonderful little 30-second email, good news, a story to share? Do you keep reminding me that even though I may have sunk something into a bad stock, that the money I put with you was a good stock? That the return on investment was incredible. That's what we need to be reminding people. That's why we need our stories. That's why we need our statistics. So, the two-portfolio approach, we have to establish investor relationships. This is about investment. There's nothing about obligation in giving, and we also cannot relegate them just into the donor base once they give. Once they give, they become investors. So we need to look at our stewardship, our leadership, and the return on investment. So the steps that we need to look at then with the development process, and you saw part of these on the bell curve, these are the steps that you go through, right? Is there anybody in here who's never seen these before? Because this is what we learn. This is what we see. These are the steps. But this is the key idea, is that each of these steps is a partnership with volunteers and staff. So yes, volunteers and staff together identify and qualify prospects. And they develop initial strategy, and they cultivate, and they involve, and they evaluate, and then they assign, solicit, follow through, acknowledge, steward, and renew. It is a partnership. It is sharing the work. And the organizations that work together like this, they move so much more swiftly than organizations where it's not well defined, where nobody quite knows who's supposed to be doing what. And I think that the best thing you can do is with your development officer, if you have one, or with the executive director and the board, to just sit down and say, okay, this is what we want to do. We want to engage our constituency. We want to steward our donors. We want to cultivate people who are acquainted with us but maybe not convinced yet. And we want to make sure that we achieve our financial goals. How do we do this together? And work it out. Because you know what has to be done. These are the steps. This is what you need to do, but you need to work out how it's going to be done. So establishing the role of the volunteers, including the board, is